Welcome to another episode of Friendpreneur Fiyah podcast Unbound. I am your host, Tiffany Bargeman, CEO, founder, and visionary of Friendpreneurship, LLC. We're a business support service that builds community by connecting entrepreneurs through targeted networking and live storytelling events. This is one of those live storytelling events. Friendpreneurship offers this podcast platform to allow entrepreneurs to talk about their why so people may buy. Because in the famous words of Simon Sinek, people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. So we have had a series of guests in September. This is our second guest, and we have two more to go. I'm excited tonight to talk to Hope Lenoir. She's an award-winning author and career consultant. I have her backstage, and we're going to talk first about a few of our sponsors. Sponsorship helps this podcast reach you. And the more sponsorship opportunities we get, the broader our reach can be. We want to get these stories of entrepreneurs and their whys out to as many people as possible so they can build those connections and meet you out there in the marketplace. So let's talk about our sponsors. We have some BFFs who are our Friendpreneur fam members. And these members have a benefit as part of their membership to be perpetual sponsors. I'm going to introduce you first to Touch of Sam. And if you follow this podcast, you'll see this ad over and over. She is my masseuse, and she's in Raleigh, North Carolina. Touch of Sam is a full-service spa boutique. You can get a massage there. You can get skincare, body rituals, med spa services. Just reach out to Sam. Her name is Samantha Reagan, and she will get you straight. Touchofsam.com is the website. Visit to see the details about the services. You can even book online. She is our one of our BFFs, and I'm going to introduce you to yet another one of our new BFF members, Erica Green. Dr. Erica Perry Green was on our podcast this past Thursday. She is the CEO and she's also a publisher. She owns the Shiro Enterprise as well as Shiro Publishing. She has a conference coming up this weekend, the 21st, and I am honored to be a speaker at this conference alongside powerhouse women like Kimberly Winborn and Sandra Hardy. All of these women up here were put in this space very strategically, and I believe that if you are launching a business, if you are trying to elevate your business, you need to be in the room at this conference. So please get your tickets. There's some information I'm going to put in our banner here so that you can make sure to get your tickets to this conference. And certainly at the end of this, I'll make sure that you all have a recap and you have the information in the comments. So again, this Saturday, September 21st, 10 o'clock to 3, we'll be at the DoubleTree in Highwoods in Raleigh, North Carolina. And if you are launching a business or you have a business you want to elevate, be in the place. So that's Dr. Erica Perry Green's conference. All right. So I would love now to introduce you to our guest for the evening, Hope Lenoir. All right. Now, before I do that, I want to make sure that you know all about her book. We're going to be talking about this book, and I'm just going to show you right quick. This is Workday Catalyst. We're going to be talking a lot about this book, and I have all of my little earmarks and whatnot because I've read it twice, and I want to share with you and get Hope to share as well. But we're going to talk about aligning professional and spiritual purpose. When I bring her on stage, I'm going to give her a chance to talk about herself, tell us all about who she is, and give us information about why she does what she does as a career consultant, as an author, all of that good stuff. So right now, I'm going to bring Hope Lenoir on stage. Help me welcome her. Welcome, Hope. Thank you for joining us this evening on Friendpreneur Fiyah podcast Unbound.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited to be here.
Yes. Okay. Now we are here to talk about the why. Now, I'm really excited every time I meet a new entrepreneur because people may think it's a nosy kind of thing, but I'm just someone who likes to know why.
Of course.
Why is it you do what you do? Okay, so tell us first about Hope Lenoir, and then let's move on into some details about what you do and why.
Yeah, there's so many things about me. I definitely am a career consultant. I used to do one-on-one coaching,
Mhm.
wanted to reach more people. So now what I do is I assess the work culture, specifically career and career mobility in organizations and businesses.
Mhm.
And I help them put their existing employees in the right places based on their professional purpose.
Mhm.
That is what I do. That's a little bit about me. My why is it's my purpose. So, what I realized is that once I actually engage what my purpose is, the world is larger. I can help more people, support more people, specifically in their careers,
Yeah.
because as people get to know me more, my purpose is not just coaching or moving people or strategy. It's bigger than that. You mentioned, and we'll probably talk about it later, aligning what your spiritual purpose is
Mhm.
with what your career purpose is. And what I'll share is a secret. What I'll share is they're basically the same thing. And we
Yeah.
leave our purpose outside of the work doors, but still wonder like, I don't feel valued, or I don't, something's missing here. It could be we're making six figures. It could be we're already VP or EVP, but there's still something missing. And that's
Mm.
purpose that we're shutting out of our
Mhm.
careers. So that's my why. I want to support more people as they engage their career and see how important it is. So they
Mhm.
too can live that exciting rush life, but
Mhm.
also a healthier life, right? Because what you'll find too is that when we engage our purpose, we're
Mhm.
more innovative, we're loyal
Innovate.
to the company.
Uh-huh.
So that minimizes a likelihood of turnover rates. We also are less likely to have heart attacks or strokes or
Uh-huh.
even Alzheimer's. There's so many stats out there. So it's like, why not live in this purpose that people are talking about? So that's my why. I want to see
Okay.
more people in that space.
Okay. Yeah, you just said a mouthful here, and
I
I'm thinking
know.
about balance. There's so much. We only have 30 minutes, but let's just touch on as much as we can. When it comes
Okay.
to balance, okay, because this is what I'm hearing coming through what you just said. We can take our professional selves to work. We know what we know. We're smart. We've been hired to do a job, and we go in with plans to be effective.
Mm-hmm.
However, we have heard of burnout, and we know
Yeah.
that burnout occurs when you go, 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 and you never rest, which is something that is the biggest earmark that I have in this book that we'll talk about, because lately I have been going, 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 and I need to rest on purpose, just
Yes.
recover. But anyway, when people don't have balance, yet they are professionals, yet they are a whole person that has a
Mm-hmm.
spirit, a mind,
Mm-hmm.
and a body.
Mm-hmm.
If we're pouring all of ourselves into one area,
Mm-hmm.
ignoring the others, or
Mm-hmm.
two areas and ignoring one, something's going to be off balance, right?
Yeah. Yes.
So we can talk a little bit about balance when we get to talking about purpose and aligning the spiritual and the professional
Mm-hmm.
purpose.
Mm-hmm.
But first, let's talk about some of the things in your book that you would like to call out. And I have a few, like I said, some earmarks, but I want to see if we're going to touch on a few of the same things.
Okay. Awesome.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, what do you want to
I
talk about?
well, I first want to say I know we're going to talk about burnout. But the
Hmm.
thing that I forgot to mention is that when we engage our purpose, we're more fulfilled. Does that mean
Absolutely.
we're not tired? Yeah, we can be. However, we're fulfilled. And purpose doesn't have to have that traditional look all the time. We can use it in different ways. One
Hmm.
of the pages that I wrote a note to myself, I have to share this, especially with your company, Friendpreneur, because we're doing things together. We're supporting each other as businesses, as people, so that whatever risk or decisions we make, we have the support we need and don't have to do whatever it is alone, even if it's a
That is one of
thinking
the papers
partner.
I earmarked.
Awesome. So I'm gonna grab my book.
Okay, me too.
So, so when I learned about your organization, it made me think of what I wrote on page 89.
Okay.
it could be, this could be related to imposter syndrome. It could be just tired. It could be just feeling alone.
Mhm.
So on page 89, you
Yep.
belong here.
Mhm. All
I'm going to
caps.
read it. I'll try to go real fast. Sometimes it takes a friend or a colleague to remind you not to doubt your success and
Mhm.
why, you love that word, why you're
Yes.
in a particular role. I had a colleague to do that for me, and I am so grateful for that. So I pass that important confirmation to you. It's
Mhm.
true. Everyone is in a particular place for a reason. We
Absolutely.
each have a purpose in the space we're in.
Mhm.
When I say each, that means you too. Know that you belong here.
Absolutely.
So there's one more sentence after that, but what I really wanted everybody to know, everybody that's listening,
Mhm.
is that it's a confirmation of what you stand for, Tiffany, and what this organization is about. Is that
Mhm.
somebody's there to help you. Be open to that.
Mhm.
But if they don't come in what you think is in time, then I'm telling everybody, you belong here. This
Mhm.
is
Okay.
yours. And like you said, you're smart enough. You've got everything that you need. You belong here. And I remember that day, I needed to hear that. So what am I doing wrong? Why can I get this? Why isn't this executive happy about what I'm doing?
Mhm.
And it was someone that came to me and said, do you think you belong here? I'm like, I don't know. What she wanted me to say is, yes, I belong here. And yes, I'm the person to get this job done.
Mhm.
So she helped me confirm that. That
So
case, it took a friend to
yeah,
say that.
at the right moment.
Yeah, at the right
When
moment.
you- Yes. So a friendly entrepreneur who is unafraid to bring others along for success usually is planted at the right moment to say just the right thing. And that's
Mhm.
part of friendpreneurship story because it didn't start out as friendpreneurship. It started out as social media management.
Mhm.
But learning people and what they do evolved into interviews and then evolved into friendpreneurship after I almost gave up because things weren't happening at the pace I thought they should. But
Mhm.
somebody spoke into my business, into my life, and said, hey, first of all, it's going to be okay. Woo, woo, woo. But then they said, this is what you can do next. So they gave me the tools and resources I needed.
Mhm.
And I was able to make my next move and stay afloat, elevate, and keep going. So let's talk about career consulting. And when you're
Yeah.
working, well, no, I'm getting ahead of myself. I don't want to do that yet. That's next.
It's
That's next
exciting.
one. Let me come back. Let me calm down and come back. Um, I want to hear what friendpreneurship means to you. Hold on, let me
Mhm.
go back. What friendpreneurship means to you, because we're talking about this is a small business that deals with entrepreneurs. You've
Mhm.
been in corporate for a long time, and your career consulting is for individuals and teams who are working in corporate environment. So
Mhm.
it may be a little bit different, but when you get to the essence of the matter and coaching people and teams about the right the right skills and the right people and what you need to bring to the table so that either you're as an individual very effective or as a team very effective. In that space, I'm trying to build a bridge here between how I might speak into the lives of friendpreneurs and how you speak into the lives of corporate professionals when it
Mhm.
comes to what they bring to the table and how to build good teams.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
not quite sure
It,
how to craft that question.
you know what? It works the same way. So again, in my company Rise and Fly, I no longer coach one-on-one.
Right.
I coach in groups.
In groups,
And
just team.
so just because I advise large groups, organizations, or in corporations,
Hmm.
it doesn't mean that I disconnect from my entrepreneur friends.
Okay, got
So
you.
we still get together and we still have those conversations that you encourage us to have about what support you
Hmm.
need. How am I holding you? As a matter of fact, I had a couple of friends this morning
Hmm.
text and say, did you do what you said you were going to do yesterday? This is what
Hmm.
I've done today. What about you? So still And then someone else, they talked about what they did in their business. And then
Yes.
their next question was, how can I help you?
Uh-huh.
So we're still having those conversations. Now, in those conversations also, like I do for corporations, organizations, businesses,
Uh-huh.
to say, what is your talent doing?
Yeah.
Is this the right role for them? Should you perhaps move them here? Have you considered this? Are the same conversations that I have with my friends. So I don't just keep it
Individually.
for them, but for
Mhm.
my friends as individuals, other entrepreneurs, and small business owners.
Mhm.
We can talk about their talent too and how I can help support their talent or some,
Mhm.
things that kind of trigger that I say, hey, but you have this group here. I know you hired them for this. Have you considered moving them here?
Mhm. Mhm.
Have you actually had a conversation beyond, okay, you're hired? Have you had a
Mhm.
conversation to get to know them more?
Mhm.
What is their purpose in life? What is their goal in life?
Mhm.
Does it all align with what they do outside of work and what they do here in their careers? Are they shutting off?
Mhm.
And how is that hurting your business? Maybe that's why people are
Okay.
coming into your store because she should be here.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. I hear what you're saying. Okay. Okay. And it also has a lot to do with collaboration because I'm thinking
Hmm.
about the solopreneur like myself.
Yeah.
Collaboration is such an important thing when you are a solopreneur. And I don't really like that word because it insinuates that you're doing everything by yourself. And technically, in the beginning, you are, but
Hmm.
you're supposed to evolve past solopreneurship and be able to build relationships with others who can support you, who can do
Hmm.
things that complement what you're doing, and you can support them the same way.
Yeah.
So I like what you're saying here because, and especially about your people that you're talking with who help each other be accountable by saying,
Hmm.
hey, I did this today. What are you doing? Um,
Hmm.
I think that when it comes to individuals versus teams, the individual has to be in a very good place, very whole, so that they can contribute well to a team.
Hmm.
How easy is it to sit down with a manager of a team and say, listen, you have a great team. There are some strengths and there are some opportunities. What does a conversation like that look like? Because you're going to have to give some advice that may not be expected or, make
Hmm.
some changes or whatever. So, what does it look like when you have a consultation with a manager and you want to make suggestions about team changes?
Yeah. So most of the time, these are great conversations because people reach out to me most of the time.
Hmm.
So the referral process is good, knock on wood, hopefully. It will continue to grow that way. So they want me to come in. They want me to tell them what changes or
Yeah.
recommendations that I have that's different from what they're doing now. They already know that what they're currently doing is not working. So they're open to me saying that. Now, to say that I've never had a manager to say, nope, not doing it. That person's fine, or that person just doesn't have it together, or this team just needs to learn to do this. I have.
Hmm.
That was on me partly. I had to learn more about change management. So you have
Hmm.
someone who's grown this as their baby. They're invested in how things are now.
Hmm.
I need to meet them in that headspace or use emotional intelligence to be able to say, this is what it looks like now.
Yes.
Great job. If you don't do this, this is what's going to happen in the future.
Hmm.
Or this is a great job. Here's how you can make your great job even better by moving
Hmm.
these people in these spaces or allowing them to develop this way or
Yes.
listening to them more often than not. So that does have a lot to do with it. But
Okay.
most of the time, looking for me, people come to me because they know that they need help with their
Hmm.
teams
Hmm.
and they know what it is that I can deliver.
Hmm. Now, I hear also evolution is key. We
Hmm.
start in one place, and just like as entrepreneurs start here and elevate and reiterate, or they iterate. So you put a product on the market,
Hmm.
you test it, you see what's going to be received by the market. Some things may be great, some things may not be, received so well. So you make changes, and
Mm-hmm.
then you put something else improved on the market, and you just
Yeah.
keep repeating that cycle. It's an evolution. I'm thinking that with teams, they have to be open to the idea of evolution. The team's not going to stay the same. A team, being on a team myself, I know we can be in a phase of storming until things kind of
Mm-hmm.
calm down and everybody gets used to one another and gets a flow, and can connect and work well together. And then
Mm-hmm.
once we know one another, things kind of normalize. And then you can optimize. I'm thinking agile here.
Yeah.
But there may be times when that doesn't happen on certain teams.
Mm-hmm.
What might be a reason that a team never gets to a normalized or optimized phase, would you say?
Yeah. Yeah. It a lot of times starts with the leader. We don't want to accept that. I, as a leader, don't want to accept that.
Hmm.
Any entrepreneur, that could be hard because we have so many other things on our mind, right?
Hmm.
But I'm sure you've heard the saying that people leave their managers, not their companies.
They need their managers or leave
They
their managers.
leave,
They leave
leave
their
their
managers. Oh,
managers, not their company.
makes sense.
And so, as a leader, and I hope that all people strive to be leaders and not just managers, but as a leader, it's time to reflect on the why.
Hmm.
Why is this happening? What's the core reason this is happening?
Hmm.
Do I even know my people? Number one, do I know them?
Hmm.
Do that I know them enough where they trust me? And I'm not sure if you or any of our listeners ever read Five Dysfunctions of a Team.
I
The
have not.
first thing is trust. That's the core. You
Uh-huh.
have to trust your leader and you have to trust your teammates.
Hmm.
That's the number one problem. If you don't trust each other, it can be totally chaotic. Nobody knows what the vision is or nobody knows the goal, the purpose, and nobody knows why I'm here.
Hmm.
The value that I bring, what is it? Do you know that value? Is it even value to what it is we're trying to do? But I don't know what we're trying to do.
Hmm.
So the leader has to first start with, who are my teammates?
Hmm.
Do they trust me?
Hmm.
What types of conversations do I have for them to meet me and I meet them? We trust each other. Therefore, we're clear on how we're moving forward.
Hmm.
We trust each other enough and know each other enough where I know who they are, what their professional purpose is, and how
Hmm.
they can add to where it is that we're trying to go.
Then they'll feel seen, and they'll feel valued, and they'll perform.
Yes, seen, value, safe,
Yeah,
and they'll perform.
absolutely. Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Now I want to get back to what we mentioned at the top, but first I'm going to open up this book and pull out a few things that I saw on
Okay.
purpose. Okay, which is a theme, a major theme throughout this book. I have many stickies that say purpose. Okay, an assignment. Okay, on page 15. Don't stop your assignment. Okay. Yes, your assignment. Assignment is the important word. It's your passion, your calling, that thing that doesn't feel like work. And it's critical to know your purposed assignment. I like that because without knowing, just like you said, we're not able to perform well. We have to know why we're doing what we're
Hmm.
doing.
Hmm.
Okay. And then on page 27, we again mention purpose. And this is where I'll segue. We'll go to a break and we'll come back and talk about the alignment between spiritual and professional purpose. It says, my purpose is, that's the heading. This is the number one factor in blooming mentally, spiritually, physically, and successfully in your career. Knowing your purpose brings greater fulfillment than money ever will in your career.
Hmm.
Now, this is my mantra. My mantra is this: when people have the information they need, they can make the best decisions for themselves.
Hmm.
Otherwise, there is waste and regret. We can go so deep and say, I know my purpose. So now I can make good decisions about how I'm going to operate in that purpose, how I'm going to walk in that purpose, whether it's in my career or in my spiritual life or in my personal life. But if you don't know it, you're pretty
Hmm.
much wasting time. aimlessly trying things, trial and error, not really landing anywhere. And that to me is so wasteful, and I hate waste. I don't like it at all. I loathe it.
Hear it.
I
I
loathe
hear
it.
it.
So I want to come back and we're going to talk about how aligning that spiritual and professional purpose might prevent waste. Okay.
Absolutely. Yep.
So we'll be back.
Excited.
What?
Excited. I'm excited. I can't wait to
I'm
share.
getting ready to answer. Okay. So I'm going to send you backstage and I'll be back after we talk about another sponsor. All right. We have a new sponsor, Favor 97.3 Internet Radio. You're walking in favor. The best variety of your inspirational favorites 24/7 are right here at favor973.com. If you want to sponsor, if you want to advertise, you can do that through this internet radio station. You're not only going to hear the best variety of Christian sounds, you can also grow your business there. So get in contact with JAS Consulting and Entertainment Incorporated. Jerry Smith is our entrepreneur there. jsmith03radio@gmail.com is the contact email, and 919-395-4905 is how he can be reached. All right, so that is Favor 97.3 Internet Radio. All right, now, y'all know I like coffee. Most of you do. If you follow Friendpreneurship, I'm a coffee lover. And if you like what you see on Friendpreneurfire.com, Friendpreneur Fire podcast Unbound. If you enjoy this podcast, if you have ever come here and walked away with inspiration or even some newfound bravery that may lead you to be a guest on this podcast, then buy me a coffee. Let me know that you appreciate the content that you're seeing here. Let me know that you want more. You can even send an email to connect@friendpreneurship.com and send some feedback, because we want to continually enhance what we are providing on this platform. So never be shy about that. And I'm not shy about saying, hey, buy me a coffee. All right, so let's bring Hope back, and we're going to talk about aligning spiritual and professional purpose. Now, when I think about the marketplace, I see it as a ministry. As a woman
Mhm.
of faith, I'm a Christian woman,
Mhm.
so my work is synonymous with my worship. I have a hard time separating it. The further along in life I go, and the more connected I am to God, the less I can say, I'm going to leave this part of me at home and take this part of me to work. can't,
Yes.
can't do
Awesome.
it. It's
Awesome.
impossible. So I want to know how in the world you strike a balance when it comes to, advising people on aligning spiritual and professional purpose, because there are some caveats, there are things to consider. But
Mhm.
what is your approach?
Yeah. Um, so I wouldn't necessarily say balance, because it gives the impression that, again, I can only do
Okay.
spiritual outside of work. I
Okay.
can't use my spiritual purpose in work.
Hmm.
So here's an opportunity for us to see, well, what does that really mean?
Yeah.
So I'll talk about myself. So I wrote a book about this too. It's called Rush, and it's not like hurry up. It's the feeling that's there, that
Uh-huh.
you feel like I have to do this.
Yeah.
That is purpose. And so I tell the story, true story, of how I realized that my spiritual purpose, which is prophecy,
Okay.
that is being gift. Hey, there you go. So you know about that.
I
You
do.
are inspired with a message to give someone instruction.
Hmm.
My career strength is individualization.
Hmm.
So I have the ability, without someone taking any type of skill assessment,
Hmm.
to realize where they should be and what they should do. And I said, oh my gosh, this is the same. I
Hmm.
know who I should give a message to and what I should do to instruct them,
Hmm.
what I should say to instruct. Why am I closing this off outside of these corporate doors when I can use them inside of the workplace? And I use them through coaching. I use
Hmm.
them through I used them through process improvement for talent, being able to acknowledge this is what a group of people need and where they need to go, to strategize that way. So I'm using my purpose in a corporate environment. I realized that. And so when I was there, I accepted that. This is what I want to do. And purpose, I love how you read the talked about the second page as well. I want people to also not be afraid or stressed about, I got to find it. What is it? Because waste is awful. And wanting to be strong in everything that you think you're weak in, not a good idea. We waste so much energy. Why not be strong in what we're already gifted to do?
Yes.
And we can do that in the workplace. You don't have to chase it. It's not something I gotta find it. It's about being in those moments where you recognize not just a task list, I gotta check. How am I feeling right now? Or those conversations that you have. Oh my gosh, I gotta tell Tiffany this. Oh, this is, and you acknowledge whenever Tiffany says this, I get super like jazzed. Like I have to tell her that, or I have to do this.
Yes.
What is that, this or that?
Yes.
Okay.
It gives you the
excitement.
Yeah.
And you have to do it. Now, it's very, very close, but I want people to understand too that passion and purpose is different. Passion can also give us this motivation, but it goes, and then we're passionate about something else, and then that dies. We're passionate about. But purpose is our life gift, and that's something that doesn't leave, and it's not something that always make us fearless, because sometimes we are afraid. For example, as a prophet, it's like, oh, that person know me, and I don't want to tell them. Oh my gosh. But it's there, and you just cannot not do it. So again, being in that moment, it goes back to what people would tell us long time. Know who you are. Know yourself.
Yes.
And that means recognizing how you feel. What are you feeling? What is going on with you as things happen throughout your day? Don't stress about it. Just, I got really excited through that. They told me to hush talking about that, but I want to tell them some more. So I'm going to send this email. Think about what those things are. What those things are. You can use them.
Yes, to be effective, more effective. One thing I learned recently, or not learned, but it became clear to me. I got some clarity in this area. Productivity and effectiveness are different. Just like passion and purpose, they're different. There are subtle differences. And when it comes to productivity, we can be productive by checking things off the task list. We can get things done. We can clean our plate and know, okay, tomorrow I can start fresh. However, were you effective in what you did do? And I think purpose aligns with effectiveness, because if you're walking in your purpose, you can be more effective. If I know that I love telling people about good things and I cannot contain myself, I don't care if it's a cup of coffee, a pair of earrings, a trip I took, some food I ate, some nail polish that went on smooth, I don't care what it was. I got to tell somebody.
I love it. Yeah.
I have to. So, and I know God put that in me because I want to help promote other people and what they do. But I didn't really realize that until I was in my 40s. I knew I enjoyed telling people about good things, but something started aligning me with my purpose. I think the closer I got to God and learning more about Him, I saw that there's a reason He made Tiffany like this. She likes to tell people about good things. So then I started searching to see, okay, God, well, what am I going to do with this to make it effective? Not just Tiffany likes to do this. So then He started showing me when I started seeking and finding, reasons to say, God, so why did I do that? Or why am I always, He started answering me, and then started putting putting my path straight, and putting people in my ear to say, or having experiences that showed me more.
Mhm.
This has been a very revolutionary time in my life, this last decade, my
Mhm.
40s, where I'm learning so much about myself because I'm learning more about God.
Mhm.
And I feel now that I'm working in my purpose. Time is not being wasted anymore. And things that were distracting me, it's easier for me to just, have you seen these? I think it's TikTok or Instagram. There's some thing going around where you've got this, the sound bite is somebody walking some
Mhm.
steps, like somebody walking in heels, and people put their, pictures or their videos with it. One I saw the other day was a woman walking and leaving behind all the things that don't serve her purpose.
Yeah.
And I thought, this is me, because it's so much easier now to walk this way, knowing what
Yeah.
my purpose is.
Yeah. Absolutely.
When did you have your aha moment, where
Yeah.
you were like, okay, this is why? There had to be a wake up moment, an aha moment.
I was a full grown adult as well. I don't remember. I was an adult. I was a young adult. I can't remember the exact age that I was, but yes, I was an adult. I knew things were happening to me that didn't seem to happen to other people. And I accepted that, considering the culture that I grew up in. Things happen.
Mhm.
Things are inspired and given to you in a certain way. I got that. But
Mhm.
recognizing that the link between purpose, it doesn't just stay outside of the business walls. It's wherever you go. I
Yes.
was an adult before I realized, oh my gosh, I have been missing this. And I would say it was when I reflected on a business meeting that I was in with some very executive senior leaders about moving associates to the right place and how
Mhm.
just jazzed. First of all, I didn't know why I was there because I was a manager
Mhm.
less than a year and I'm in the room. They asked me to be in that room.
Somebody saw something.
Hey,
Mhm.
and the conversations they were having and how I was all in the conversation and what I wanted to contribute, it wasn't like a fight. Well, I got to get this. It was, let me share more. As they're wanting more, let me share more. As they're sharing more, let me share more.
Yeah.
I said, oh my gosh, that feeling is just like fire. Like I have to share this. I have to
Yeah.
do this. Um, so I would say probably my mid to late 20s is when I
Yeah,
was,
that's pretty
hey,
early.
this is, there's something here. Let
Wow.
me really dig into what this is. And so I was all over StrengthsFinder 2.0, one of my
Oh yeah, I
favorite.
remember we took that.
I'm still not getting promotional fees for talking about them so much. But StrengthsFinder, and then of course there are spiritual tests, and yes, there are free ones online. You have to be very truthful about the free ones that you take because they can be generic.
Mm.
So, and I say that because sometimes we'll say, yeah, I'll help a person with this, and yeah, I'll help a person, and yeah, I want to be. Let's be honest
Yeah.
about what it is that you're saying. Yes, I will, or yes, I'm driven to do this too. Um, so it was for me after that, just taking a look at, well, this is what my gift is. By the way, my brother-in-law is a minister who focuses
Okay.
on spiritual gifts. Taking
Okay.
this, what I'm learning here, and taking this one, this is the same. So yeah, it was in my late 20s, uh,
Wow.
mid to late 20s, where I realized that there's something here as far as my career is concerned.
That's amazing that it was 20s,
Yeah,
because I mean, it was my 40s. And
yeah.
I don't know if it's because for so long my mindset was about productivity
Hmm.
before I really understood that effectiveness was so much more important.
Hmm.
Um, so it took me a little longer, but the experiences that led up to that revelation had to
Hmm.
be had, and
Yes.
everybody's different. So it took me
Yeah.
a little longer to get there, but now I'm just like on fire. And I
Yeah.
cannot waste time. I cannot. I won't
Yeah.
let anything. Maybe I have to make up for the lost time, I think.
No, I hope everyone that's listening gets this, right? It's not, you're never too late, you're never too early.
Uh-huh. And I
Listen
can't wait to
and
do it.
be in those moments. Now, if you're 3 years old and you're talking and I know this is what my purpose is in life, kudos to you. If you're 76 and saying, you know what, it took me this long, but I
It's
know
okay.
it is. But you
Before
know
you
what else
close your
is,
eyes,
hey,
right?
you know what else? The pandemic has allowed a lot of opportunity for people to realize this too,
Mm-hmm.
because so many people have time to reflect in that,
Yes.
especially if they were in the cases of working from home. The whole family or home or work, that dynamic changed. And a reflection came with a lot of that because different experiences came with a lot of that.
Oh
So
yeah.
no matter how old you are, people are thinking, is this what I am here for?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So
Mm-hmm. Need to be thinking
never
about
too
it.
much.
So we've been talking about mindset. Now
Okay.
we'll. I know time is flying. Okay,
It is.
let's finish up with mindset.
Okay.
Okay, when it comes to failure, success and failure,
Mhm.
what mindset would you say professionals need to have so that when they fail, because it happens, and when
Mhm.
they succeed, because that happens too, they're
Mhm.
able to continue walking in their purpose, but growing, always growing with the flow. That's something that we do at Friendpreneurship. We grow with the flow. We never feel like we've arrived.
Mhm.
So, how can we maintain a mindset of growth as we move throughout our careers and align professional and spiritual purpose?
Yeah. I never, something came to me, but I never thought about this before till you asked the question. Um, if you're engaging your purpose, have you really failed? Or did things just go as you didn't expect them to go? But then it's not to say that we shouldn't acknowledge failure. It
Mm-hmm.
happens. What failed is that the situation did not turn out as we wanted or expected.
Mm-hmm.
You engaging your purpose means that you did what you were supposed to do. And you should find fulfillment in what that was. You should
Yes.
also acknowledge, because it wasn't as you expected, that perhaps this is review time. What
Yes.
happened? Why didn't it go as expected? What can
Mm-hmm.
I do differently next time?
Mm-hmm.
I hope that people find that exciting to say, what can I do next time? How would
Yeah.
it be different? How
Yeah.
would it be how I expect this time? Not how I expected last time, because my expectations are going to evolve.
Mm-hmm.
Because now I'm looking for even better or different.
Yeah.
I didn't fail at engaging my purpose. Something else could have been done differently because
Mm-hmm.
what failed was whatever I expected to happen.
Yeah. Yeah. And
But
we
I'm
are not,
sure,
we don't have glass balls or crystal
yeah,
balls to look into the future. So we got to give ourselves grace there, you know?
we have
Uh,
to. We have to. But you've
Yeah.
learned something that you wouldn't learn otherwise. That's
Mm-hmm.
what I tell myself. No matter what happened, I learned something that I didn't know about otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
My
About
business
yourself.
started off, yeah, as um, resumes. This was more than a decade ago, doing resumes, helping people with interviews. That didn't work out. That wasn't my purpose.
It wasn't it.
It wasn't it. And am I totally disappointed? I go, oh my gosh, this didn't happen. It hurts. It's like, yep,
Mhm.
not seeing any financial stability with that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm not
Yes.
touching as many people as I want. What is going on? Professional purpose.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I am created to do.
Mm-hmm.
This is what's going to help more people. Let me try that. And even now, I'm glad again that you brought this up because even now, there are things where I fail acknowledging the word.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know. I
Right.
didn't know what I didn't know.
Right.
Was I disappointed? I was.
Yeah.
But those few people that made it to my workshop, did it change their life? Yes. That one person that came to my workshop, did it change her life? Absolutely. We
Mm-hmm.
cried, we changed, we evolved. What can I do now for more people? These are all the things that I was thinking about when I first started. What can I do now
Mm-hmm.
to make different? Or I learned that worked really well with that one person. I'm going to do
Yes.
it again. Let me message this way, or let me
Yes.
connect with friendpreneurs this
Yes.
way in order to grow.
Yes, the evolution, the growth. I like what Taquita, she's watching. She's one of our friendpreneurs, and when you were talking about the pandemic, I believe this is when she made this comment. Breathe. The time brought out so much creativity and reflection time. Yes, I remember that period, and
Mhm.
we got to know ourselves better, the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Mhm.
But
Yeah,
then it's a matter of taking what you do learn, like you were saying, and doing something with it. It is not waste. I have a similar story with my business. I thought I wanted to do that. So I poured myself into it. And then I realized, wait a minute, no, that's not what he wanted me to do. But I had to have the experience to realize that this is exactly the direction he wanted me to go in. I started because I
mhm,
had an inkling and I thought I knew what I was doing, trial
yeah,
and error. But then over that period of time, he showed me exactly what I was supposed to be doing. And that
yeah,
evolution felt good now that I know
mhm,
what it's supposed to be. It
yeah.
can be painful and therapeutic. Okay,
I
so
love it.
moving on.
Can I also add that I love that you said give yourself grace too. Again, we
Yes.
don't know what we don't know. I remember having an event, um, and I think three people showed up at that event. And I remember, and this is when I first started being all on social media, announced the event on social media. And one of the people that came said, "Oh my gosh, I expected more people to be here. Maybe you should have announced it on LinkedIn." And I said, "I did announce it on LinkedIn. Oh my gosh, I didn't see it." And then
Mm.
another woman was like, "You know what? Instagram's really good. You should have announced." And I said, "I did announce it on Instagram." So we're thinking that, oh, people didn't like our words. Maybe, and
Just
maybe
don't see
others are thinking that maybe they didn't like my words, and maybe they didn't like this. They didn't even see
the
it. So,
algorithms.
I know. So give yourself grace. I mean, some things are out of our control,
Yeah.
and that is okay. That is
But I
okay.
have also learned those things that are out of our control are the things that God is orchestrating with his
Yeah.
perfect timing. If we
Yeah.
were not able to reach this many people, but three people showed up, they were the ones that were supposed to come.
Exactly. Yeah.
And if we weren't supposed to get to this point in our business at this point that we thought we would, it's because God wanted to show us a few more things
Yeah. Yeah.
so we can evolve. So, I'm learning, I'm growing with the flow.
Awesome.
Okay. Now I'm going to send you backstage one more time.
Okay.
And I would love, love, love for you to think about some final words for friendpreneurs. Think
Okay.
about some final words for your audience as well, because when we're talking about mindset, when we're talking about professional and spiritual purpose, all of these things, that's a lot to talk about. It can be deep, and we need to go
Mhm.
process some
Yeah.
information. But if you can leave us with a thought
Okay.
to ponder, please do. Okay,
I
so
will.
we'll be right back. All right. Hi, you guys. I'm going to give you a little bit of information about some upcoming events before Hope comes back to give us her final words. Now, tomorrow we are having our second installment of Ask a Friendpreneur. This is a virtual sip and share meetup that we're doing twice a month on the first and second Mondays. And we are inviting subject matter experts who have been doing business for a long time to come in and be our featured Friendpreneur fellows to answer questions, all things business, whatever it is you want to know about entrepreneurship. If you're at a roadblock and you have a specific question, bring it and ask it. And if you have something that you want to send in advance, send it to connect@friendpreneurship.com so we can have that question ready with our entrepreneur and bring a friendpreneur with you. So you can register at friendpreneurship.com/experiences. And this is going from September to December, first and second Mondays, except holidays. So keep up with the schedule and announcements. Subscribe to Friendprenews, the newsletter that we send out once a month so you can stay abreast on the happenings. And speaking of happenings, we have another podcast coming up on the 22nd. And I would like to let you know about that before we bring Hope back to the stage. All right, stand by. All right, here we go. So, Regina Hall, she is a three-time cancer survivor who has started a nonprofit called Carla's Calls. And Carla's Calls provides compassion and empathy after hours. We're talking about a 24/7 hotline that single cancer survivors can call for support when they need it. And she's going to talk to us about the very personal experience that she has had that led her to create such an organization to serve the community. I want to know all about her why. And if you do too, please come back next Sunday, September 22nd at 7 p.m., Facebook Live, and we will have that conversation with Regina Hall. I'm excited about that. All right, let's bring Hope back for some final words. What you got, Hope? What should we ponder this evening as we close our eyes?
Yes. As you close your eyes, acknowledge just how great you are. You're created for a reason, and acknowledge what that reason or that purpose is, because it's going to bring you so much more than you ever expected, mentally, physically, financially, knowing this is who I am and what I'm created to do. This
Yes.
is the beauty I am bringing to the rest of the world.
I love it.
We're excited about seeing it. Do
Yes.
it, grow it, continue to learn. We're excited about seeing what it is that you have to offer.
Yes. And do it now. Don't
Do
wait.
it. Why not?
Don't wait.
Yeah.
Good. All right. One last shout out for your book, Workday Catalyst.
Thank you.
Give it
Thank
all.
you. I have to say too, so it's interesting. It's
Uh-huh.
interesting that you said you read it twice. So just so everyone knows, Workday Catalyst, don't be scared by the size.
Right,
What it
right.
is, it's supposed to give you a tip
Yeah,
or inspiration for
yeah.
each workday. So before you go to work, turn a page. You can go
Yes.
in order, you can go to random page, turn a page, read what it
Yeah.
says. It gives you some type of empowerment tool for that particular workday. But if you want to read
Bite
it all at
size.
once, go right ahead.
Yes. I love how it's bite size. All right. Thank you so much, Hope. I really
Thank
appreciate your
you.
time tonight.
Thank
Yeah,
you for allowing me to be a part. I appreciate that.
absolutely. All right. I'm going to replay this on YouTube. So give me some time before I go to bed. I like to grab a snippet of some good stuff that we were talking about, put it out there with a link to YouTube, and then I'll tag you so you know you can share it. But you all can look for that because I love, love, love collecting these podcasts. I'm putting them all in one place. We're creating a library here so that people can reference them. Thank you again. All right. Thank you guys for joining us. And if you did not join us, you can catch the replay when I post it. Talk to you later.